Okay, so it seems like I stumbled across a post which is talking to, I think, obviously some people over at Kuro Games. Now, obviously, they've been talking about the fact of there is a campus presentation and that they had a few questions to ask about the game. Now, this is coming from a post over on Tiba, which obviously is a Chinese social media like forum site or whatever. This is it. This is the original page here, and they actually asked some questions, I'm guessing to the developers of Wuthering Waves about the game, including how mobile is becoming a slight obstacle to some of what Wuthering Waves is planning to do going forwards, right? They say, number one, optimization on mobile is still ongoing. The biggest issue right now is memory usage. At the same time, the PC version keeps adding new features to improve quality, so it's hard to solve this problem in the short term. The cutscene in version 2.7 seems to be pre-recorded in-game capture with Chinese voiceovers, mainly because having a dozen characters appear together puts too much strain on mobile performance. That's why they've used recorded gameplay footage instead, which has caused some lip-sync mismatches. So again, that is them explaining why there's some issues with the Chinese voiceover there. It's because that they decided to pre-record it rather than have it generated in the game, right? There is different kind of scenarios in Wuthering Waves and many other gacha games where you have to decide between, do you want the cutscene to play out using the in-game engine, and that they will obviously do it, the game will do it itself, right? Or do you want to play a video of it pre-rendered so it puts less strain on, mobile devices and any devices in general, because it is literally just playing a video rather than trying to, move models and things, which is much more straining on some devices. And it seems like this is going to be more straining on mobile, so that's why they decided to use pre-recorded cutscenes, which I think is interesting, and obviously shows you the kind of restrictions they have whenever it comes to trying to do things with mobile. They say the final battle in 2.7 was originally planned to have all the characters appear as AI teammates, just like in version 1.0, including the forecast echoes, but due to mobile optimization issues, they had to compromise and simplify it to the current version. So yeah, it seems like obviously the final battle was supposed to be much grander than it already was, right? Which could have been very, very cool, but it seems once again as well, because of mobile optimization issues, they were not able to do that, and it is really restricting a lot of what they do, because I think Wuthering Waves does a good job of not letting mobile restrict it too much. I think they still do work on a lot of really important kind of aspects of the game. For example, we've seen updates with like NVIDIA and things like that, and we've had NVIDIA kind of RTX and things like that to kind of improve the quality of the game, which is something that obviously you cannot get on mobile. You can't get NVIDIA, you can't get RTX on mobile because, again, it's not available, which obviously shows you how much effort they are putting in to the PC version and how that runs, right? And so, again, it seems like they're not letting it affect them too much, but it does start to have an effect whenever it comes into quests and just creating different kind of stories and different kind of events, right? Because mobile can't run some of it, which I do think is pretty interesting. And then they say it takes nearly 400 days to develop a single character in Wuthering Waves. So when someone asked how far along the team was, the devs said you could estimate the progress based on that timeline. So again, obviously, yeah, that is a reveal from the devs there, saying that, hey, it takes over 400 days to make a character, which I think is pretty insane. So you could think about, for example, one of the characters right now, Galbrenna, right? She would have been started about almost a year ago, which I think is pretty insane. And obviously they've been cooking this up for quite a while, but obviously that is how these kind of schedules and plans with these kind of gacha companies work, right? It's like, hey, we need to kind of have a contingency plan just in case this doesn't go right, and then they'll work from it from there, right? They're considering expanding the ecosystem. Player feedback has been received, and now they're testing new ideas through limited time events. Eventually, it may extend into the open world, for example, transforming into an echo, which is pretty interesting. Say the topic of permanent character presence on the map was specifically brought up, suggesting that the devs are paying attention to requests for more character interactions or screen time. The original poster wanted to ask if the characters could have been added to daily missions, but forgot to in the end. This was translated by ChatGPT. I just tweeted a few words. So yeah, very interesting. Obviously, coming from the Wuthering Waves devs there, and they say, so 2.7's final battle is going to be even more grand, huh? Yeah, but that would definitely blow up some phones. Thankfully, they still made it great. Sometimes I forget that WuWa is also still a mobile game. They say the original poster wanted to ask if characters could be added to daily missions, but forgot in the end. They had one job, he is jobless now, which obviously, yeah, I think that is pretty interesting, you know, how they haven't said that to them, because I think that would be a very good change, good update to Wuthering Waves, right, to include a lot of the playable characters, you know, for example, like the ones that you meet along the way, like a Chikona or someone, whatever, and then you do quests with them for your daily missions, rather than helping some old, like, random old guy, like, down the road, with, like, dealing with some tacit discords, you know? Sometimes that can get a little bit boring, you don't care, and also you miss out on some character interactions, which I think obviously becomes a big issue, whenever it comes to, you know, just kind of making quests and making entertaining quests, right? There's one thing making a quest and making it kind of enjoyable and making it like something that gives you some gems, because obviously, let's be real, daily missions, people don't really care about it too much. It's just like, I'm in it to get the gems, but you could make it much more meaningful if you kind of add a lot of those characters in there, which I think would be great. They said, cheers for the info. Point 4 is kind of shocking. He said, yeah, more than a year for one character is kind of crazy. Though I guess it includes conceptualization, writing and stuff, so it's understandable, I guess. Which, yeah, I think it is pretty understandable, because 400 days does include things like, you know, obviously designing the character and then including them in the lore and figuring out their story, stuff like that. So this number is mentioned when introducing the game designer's work, perhaps starting from time that the game designer asks, what character should we create next? It is not about an otaku programmer working day and night to modify the model for 400 days. Yeah, I think it is more of a company thing of like, hey, you know, we're working on this character, but we're not like working to, you know, finish it in the next week. We're working to kind of, you know, build it up over the next year or so that they can then release it for whatever update is in the future, right? So again, it's not like they're working, you know, tooth and nail to get it done. It is literally just the fact of it just takes 400 days because they've decided it takes 400 days, right? See, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's also probably isn't too wrong to assume that they could at least do 2 characters during the same-ish period, which, yeah, they could probably do like 5, to be honest, which, yeah, they got multiple team members. They should be able to work on a lot of things like that. As well, we keep on going, saying, to be honest, even without a mobile version, the optimizations on PS5 is still ass, though. Like, there is zero reason why the game runs this bad on PS5. Supposedly having an R5 3600 or a plus an RX 6700 equivalents, while on PC, with even worse specs, it runs significantly better. Said the sad part is that we will suffer from it. The low rendered cutscenes and lip syncs that since that day has been fixed is just horrible to experience on a big screen. It's like watching a movie from 20 years ago, which, yeah, can be totally understandable. You know, I understand why some people are not happy with that, and why some people, you know, obviously complaining about the fact that, hey, you know, they're catering towards mobile, you know, players way too much here, which I think is true. You know, I think that obviously Wuthering Waves is still a mobile game at the end of the day, and they still need to make it playable for them. But I think it does get to a point where you ask the question, well, what does Kuro Games really want to do? Do they want to continue this as a mobile game that is accessible to everybody, right? Or do they want to kind of push it even further in Wuthering Waves development and focus more on the PC side of things to create better experiences for people? Again, that is up to Kuro Games and whatever they want to do with it, but it seems that they have 2 very clear options there, and it seems like they're trying to kind of cater still to a lot of mobile players too, while also trying to make the best experience possible for PC, which I think is the best that they can do for now, but it will be interesting to see how this changes in the future. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show this to you guys, because again, I don't think a lot of people have seen this. It's obviously a kind of a not an interview, but a question and answer with some devs over at Kuro Games. So yeah, I mean, I'll keep you guys up to date if there's any more information on this, or if we see any more kind of news come out from this. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.